Right, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today, bit of a long one. This is all about, of course, the Rust shooting tragedy. Alec Baldwin, Helena Hutchins sadly lost her life. I'm surprised that people are running with this story as this sort of big thing, and we must act on it. This is it, you know. And what I'm talking about is the armourer on the set of Rust was Hannah Gutierrez Reed, who is the daughter of Thel Reed, a industry veteran, one of the best in the business. He's given the Santa Fe Police Department a tip-off that will lead the investigation away from his daughter. I mean, talk about motive. Talk about a vested interest from individuals to move the investigation elsewhere. Why are people running with this as this grand thing, this big thing that is going to get to the bottom of the story, the grand reveal, which just so coincidentally actually ties in with exactly what Hannah Gutierrez Reed's lawyers were saying, with that it was sabotage. There's so much about this story which is, to me, utter nonsense. And we're going to explore it today. If you've appreciated my coverage of this, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I've found this, your response to my reporting on this to be overwhelmingly positive. So I just want to take this chance to say thank you. Genuinely, thank you. And if you want to extend your gratitude, hit subscribe, follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, all that good stuff. At Missed H Reviews, you'll find it in the description box. But let's take a look at this, right? So the headline is Rust Armourer's industry veteran father hands police possible pivotal tip on origin of the live rounds. Right? Hannah Gutierrez Reed admits she didn't check the gun too much. So you've got two things there. Oh, the father is, steering police away from the daughter. And then the daughter, in the headline, admits to not even doing her job properly. Now, there's a few things about this which don't make sense to me, because the father admits that Thel Reed admits that another individual, essentially an armourer's mentor, bought a whole bunch of live rounds off him, which then Hannah Gutierrez Reed got the live rounds, or the production anyway, got the rounds from this individual rather than Thel Reed. Surely you just get the rounds from Thel Reed in the first place, wouldn't you? Surely. I mean, why would you go to the middleman, not the supplier? It's this big cluster of total nonsense. And I believe that this is all done to sort of, shift blame and move things around. But whilst doing so, Hannah admits once more that she didn't do her job. So whilst you're trying to steer the police away from you, because, let's be honest, it doesn't matter where the live rounds came from. Live rounds were on set. People knew they were on set because of plinking. And you've admitted to not doing your job properly. I mean, that's damning. Right there, that is damning. So let's read through this. I'll pick it apart. You can leave your thoughts down below and let's explore, shall we? So, Santa Fe police may be a step closer to discovering where the live round fired last month by Alec Baldwin that killed Rust cinematographer Helena Hutchins came from. Again, remember, it actually doesn't matter where it came from, because it got into the gun because someone didn't do their job correctly. Why this focus, and this is what is sad about this insane focus on where they came from. They were approved on set because people were plinking. They found their way into the gun because someone didn't do their job correctly. A few people didn't do their jobs correctly. So it doesn't matter where it came from. It matters that it was in the gun and people didn't do their job correctly, thus leading to tragedy. In a fourth search warrant approved by a New Mexico judge, detectives on Tuesday revealed the armourer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed's father, Thel Reed, reached out to them on November 15th to tell them about possibly hundreds of rounds of live ammunition that Rust armourer mentor Seth Kenny took from him earlier this year. Kenny told the elder Reed to write it off when the veteran armourer and stuntman repeatedly inquired about the rounds. Well, did he steal them? Took from him? Did he steal them? Did he buy them? That's a that's a conversation in and unto itself. But where's the relevance to with respect to this? Who cares where they came from? Your daughter, Mr. Thel Reed, didn't do her job correctly and admits to it in this. So in 2 conversations with the sheriff's office, the elder Reed revealed that he brought the approximately 200 to 300 rounds in the can, described the can to be green in colour and looked like a military ammo can, to a firearms range to help train actors on another production with Kenny. So obviously, got paid for this, all part and parcel of it all, right? And then Thel Reed told the police earlier this month, this ammunition may match the ammunition found on the set of Rust. Right, well it either does or it doesn't, because what's important to note is that the gun which was used, that shot this, the gun that Alec Baldwin used, is very specific and uses very specific rounds. It looks a certain way, it acts in a certain way. So you can only really use a specific type of ammunition. So to say that the ammunition may match it, it's either you know it or it doesn't. Seen as one of the best in the business, the elder Reed has been a weapons consultant and armourer on films including Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Cowboys and Aliens, 310 to Yuma, Grindhouse and many others over the decades. That experience is among the reasons the police are acting on his tip. Why? So what if he's got experience? Why? What does him having experience on all those movies have to do with the fact that it doesn't? I'm so confused. It doesn't matter where the live ammunition came from, right? Like, are they trying to move it down to the source of the ammunition rather than the negligent failings of the people involved in safety? That's what it sounds like here, right? They're like, oh, we'll find out where the live rounds came from, and we'll do them instead of doing the people that should have done their job? What? So check this out, right? A client is requesting a search warrant to be approved for the business of PDQ Arm and Prop, LLC, in an attempt to search for any items of evidentiary value that will help with the ongoing investigation in relation to the death of Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust, filmed at the Bonanza Creek Ranch. This requests the affidavit from Detective Alexandria Hancock. The search warrant permits detectives to search the Albuquerque-based business and seize property deemed relevant to the investigation. The company, located in a strip mall, is owned by Kenny. According to Gutierrez Reed, as stated in today's warrant, Kenny supplied the ammunition and weapons to the set of Rust. Why? Why didn't you go to Thel Reed instead? Seems slightly odd. Can we agree? The document goes on to say that Affiant learned the firearms and ammunition were picked up either from Hannah or Sarah, Zachary, the prop master, in Albuquerque, New Mexico at PDQ Arm and Prop LLC. Police spoke with Zachary in the immediate aftermath of the October 21st shooting, when the crew member said that ammunition for Rust was provided from various sources, so not just Kenny, to include Seth Kenny. Some Hannah brought from a previous production, and extra rounds from an individual identified as Billy Ray. Who the fuck is Billy Ray? No one knows. Previous search warrant executed by the police at the Bonanza Creek Ranch have found a number of weapons, and according to Sheriff Adan Mendoza, 500 rounds of ammunition, a mix of blanks, dummy rounds, and what we are suspecting are live rounds. There are no details in today's document about who Billy Ray is. However, there is a growing amount of info on Kenny, who was brought on board the $7 million indie western to back up the relative newbie Gutierrez Reed. Relative is an understatement, as shown in a moment. Named as a defendant in the last 2 lawsuits that have already been filed in the Rust tragedy, weapons specialist Kenny has emerged as a pivotal figure in the cops' probe, along with armourer Gutierrez Reed and First Assistant Director David Halls. This, to me, genuinely sounds like Thel Reed is just trying to shift the sheriff's investigation away from his daughter. I mean, he has a vested interest in it. It's pretty plain to see. I don't understand why people are not, why that's not the headline, because that's basically what it is. Even in the headline, she indicts herself in this situation. She literally damns herself. And wait a moment, we'll get to it. So, like star producer Baldwin, both Gutierrez, Reed and Halls have hired defence lawyers as the move towards the court speeds up. Absolutely it does. In an October 29 call with police, Kenny floated a theory of reloaded ammunition that a friend had given him a few years ago. The ammo in question had a particular logo on it, a star, an arch, and then another star, matching that of big dealer Starline Brass. He described how the company only sells components of ammunition and not live ammo. Therefore, it had to be a reloaded round. And this is a warrant note anyway. The latest warrant also notes more details from Santa Fe Sheriff's Office sit-downs with Gutierrez Reed. This is her official statements to police. Right? Specifically, while laying out how the guns on set were handled and stored that terrible day, Gutierrez Reed said the following. She stated that the guns were checked on set, however, she didn't really check it too much, due to it being locked up at lunch. What? So it's locked up at lunch, and then you're like, oh, I don't have time to check it too much. Don't worry about it. Fucking... what? It's just so insane. Kept out of the church location frequently due to what she told detectives were COVID precautions. The armourer previously laid out how she handed the 1880s era gun to Halls, who then took it inside and gave it to Baldwin after exclaiming "cold gun." Practicing a quick draw move during rehearsal, Baldwin pulled the trigger, killing Hutchins and injuring director Joel Souza. Oh. Remember, the whole thing is, right, this is just shifting blame around. You're like, right, where did the live ammo come from? We need to find out where the live ammo came from. No, you don't. You need to find out where the breakdown in the chain of custody for safety occurred. Because it doesn't... They all knew live ammo was on the set. You had union crew members walk out of the film production because they were sick of unsafe situations. There's notes of plinking going on anyway. So people obviously approved of live ammo being on set. There was no argument about live ammo being on set previous to that, to this whole situation. No one cared. Now all of a sudden, someone's dead. They're like, oh, live ammunition. Need to find out where that came from. You all approved it, right? You knew it was there, and then all of it's to do with. It is literally to do with the breakdown, chain of custody, and who didn't perform their safety checks as they should have done. And part of that is Hannah Gutierrez Reed, and she admits it. I didn't really check it too much. The quote is, didn't really check it too much. That is negligence straight away. But the further damning thing about all this is it all goes into what... And remember, this is from Gutierrez Reed's father saying, oh, the ammo may have come from this person. Gutierrez Reed's lawyers were the ones that floated the theory of sabotage. This is just trying to muddy the waters with a jury when this goes to court. Because check this out. Today, the armourer's lawyer released a statement from their client on the latest twist in the investigation. So here it is. The sheriff's office has taken a huge step forward today to unearth the full truth of who put the live rounds on the Rust set. You all approved them there because you were doing plinking. Let's not forget that. By executing a search warrant on PDQ Arm & Prop, owned by armourer mentor Seth Kenny, we trust that the FBI will now compare and analyse the live rounds seized from the set to evidence seized in the search warrant to conclusively determine where the live rounds came from. Yes, but if your client did check too much, no one would be dead. Remember that. Remember that. In keeping with the early findings and concerns of our own internal investigation, which were echoed by a detailed report in the LA Times, we also hope that there will be further investigation into the important detail about a new ammunition box seen on set the day of the shooting. The questions of who introduced the live rounds onto the set and why are the central questions in the case. Today's warrant is a major step toward answering those questions, and we commend the Sheriff's Office and their lead investigator on their continuing tireless work to find the truth. I mean, the truth is, your client's admitted to not checking the gun. Literally, she admits, I didn't check the gun too much. I mean, it's quite literally in the goddamn headline. Admits she didn't check the gun too much. But, yeah, no, we're focused on where the live rounds came from. It's not actually that important. It's really not actually that important when you're comparing it all. So, yeah. I've reported on this so much now that with each report that I do, I just see epic failings and misdirection going on left, right and centre. And it truly is just misdirection from media. Like, Deadline shouldn't be running with this as a story. They should be like, God damn. You know, we need to talk about, you know, the fact that, you know, this obviously has a vested interest. Let's talk about it. No. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Like I said, if you appreciate these videos, hit that like button and do share them. Follow me over on Twitter and Instagram at MrH Reviews. It's linked down below. Support the channel by becoming a member or Patreon, or buying some merch. It's under the video. Thanks. Take care.